You better not bring your kids.
You do.
Let's start the show. What's up, buddy?
I have a
update.
harmonica somewhere. What?
What is 100?
Oh. Here,
You're hiding it.
take a look at these. I got these last week. Okay.
John Bowles, May Clark, Boris Koloff. Nice.
Yeah, that's Boris Karloff. That's Frankenstein, the movie poster for the
Lon
original
Chaney,
Frankenstein.
yep. Bela Lugosi. Showing the folks at home.
Yeah.
Dracula. Nice.
All
Dude,
right.
These are cool, man.
Now, yeah, so those are the original movie poster things. Just prints like laminated.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
oh, that's cool. I'll put them up on the wall.
So
in here.
you can still picture frame them and hang them up and shit.
So, all right, here's a question. I already know the answer in my own head for me, but when it comes to all those, like that collection of all the horror figures and whatnot, villains really more than just horror. But if I pre-order one first, but then order another second, and the ordered one comes first before the pre-order, what one constitutes the 100th? Is it the one I bought first or the one I get first? What would you consider it anyway?
Neither.
I'm still at 99?
No. You'll be at 100
All right.
because it'll be whichever one you put up first constitutes as number 100.
Oh, okay. Then that's with what I'm going to say and what you just said. Either way, it'd be the same. Whatever I did, but
Yeah.
so today, by chance, I didn't even think about it because this is a week ago I got this and just did it today and not even pay attention. I got the NECA version of all three of these. Pre-ordered this one that comes out in November, the Bela Lugosi Dracula, and then I ordered these two after I pre-ordered that, and then I came in a half hour before he got here and picked up these three pictures. I'm like, oh shit, it's the same thing. I didn't even mean for that to happen. I was like, wait, did I get
Deja vu, man.
Yeah, so that would be number 100, 101, and 102.
Nice. Yeah, I think it solely depends on which one you put up there first.
Yeah.
I mean, if you get them in the order, whatever order you get them in, and put them up there like that, then it doesn't matter which order you purchase them in. I
suppose that's right, because if you went to the store and got like 3 or 4 of them at a rip and then put
because
them
if I grabbed that Bela Lugosi NECA at Walmart for you, that would have been 100 because it probably would have already been on your shelf by now.
I guess that's the only milestone. I know 2 milestones. Number 1 and number 100. And I guess technically 99, 101, and 102. But number 1 was Part 3 Jason. That was the first one.
You mean the real Jason, the one with the blue marks on his mask?
Yeah. Jason. Whatever. I'm a geek. What can I say?
Yeah, I don't.
You ready to geek out this episode?
A little bit.
We're gonna take.
Don't worry.
There's a couple of newsworthy things. Luckily, it was a slow news week anyway. So
Yeah, but here's the thing, really quick, before you get on that, the whole geek thing. You're getting all the NECA figures, and here I am trying to get all the Funko Pops, basically of the same characters.
yeah, good luck, because I've looked for horror Funko just out of curiosity. Like I don't bother getting them, but horror figures are. It's like anywhere that sells Funko.
Oh, you're going.
Sells the same ones unless you go to somewhere that's big. But then if you go somewhere that has a large variety of them, like toying around, one, it's overpriced. But moreover, it's a lot of DC TV characters or just like Seinfeld characters and stuff like that. Like,
that's where you go.
which is the popular thing. I get it, but
Amazon or eBay, man. You find those people that are like, well, I got a rare one.
But you have to admit that there's a charm in going somewhere and finding it in person.
Oh, the brick and mortar? Fuck
yeah. There it is.
Oh, hell yeah.
That's the same reason why I have the Two Towers and Return of the King of a special edition way back the DVD, but it came in like this leather-bound book.
Yeah.
And I don't have the first one. I found it on eBay, but I want to find it in person.
Yeah.
And I've had it for like 15 years, and I've not found it. But I got the other two. But you know how many times I've gone on eBay or Amazon, looked through, I'm like, there it is. It's right there. $15. Could get it. Complete the collection, but not going to.
No. Fuck that.
I'll find it one day. One day I will find it in person.
Finally open the van door and get out. Oh, I really shouldn't have taken that candy. Oh, look, garage sale. Oh, look. Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring, leatherbound edition.
I love garage sales. I wish there was more than just once a year.
I haven't been to one in a long time.
Sometimes you find some like that longbow I got downstairs. $4.
Yeah,
a
yeah.
$4 longbow in perfect condition too. All I had to do was get a string for it.
All right, newsworthy. What's going on in the world today?
All right, let's run through this news.
Because after the day I had, I need something to fucking laugh at or take out some aggression on. It's either that or when I masturbate later, I'm going to end up going to the ER.
Biden has cancer. You better not laugh, asshole. You better not laugh. Skin cancer. Of the skin.
Melanoma.
Yes.
Oh.
It was a remark he made.
Was it from all the kids rubbing the hair on his legs? He got friction melanoma.
Jeez.
Could be ass skin cancer because he was a truck driver too. I think at one point he said to somebody he drove trucks.
Go away, you.
That's what the people told him when he said, "I drove these things. Go away, you." That's the axle. I drove it though.
He was making a speech in some oil refinery or something like that.
Oil skin
and
cancer.
when he was talking about when he was younger, and he made the comment something along the lines of, "That's why I and so many damn people have known got cancer." Of course, the news blew up. You're like, wait, what? Joe has wait a minute here. Joe has cancer? Like, but the problem is everybody that heard that. There's two things. Some people think, is that a Freudian slip? Did he just admit, oh, I have cancer, and he wasn't supposed to say anything? Or is this another gaffe? Like, chewing showing out the pressure gaffe. Like, it's one of those things like, I got cancer. I got hairy legs. There's weird things that he just, like, pops out. Like, what was the one where there was that one video of him running up to a reporter and it's like, I wiped my butt. Or something like that. Or my butt's been wiped. Yeah, that's what it was. My butt's been wiped. At least that's what it sounds like.
He's the senile version of George Bush.
Like, these things just kind of fall out of his mouth.
Remember that shit? George Bush with the fucking second George W.
Oh, Junior? Yeah.
Yeah.
When
he was saying all the crazy...
Natural gas is hemispheric. That's right. We're going to do that, too. We talk about those. I should have pulled all those up.
Remember there was the big fucking posters. You could actually buy them at, like, Spencer's and Hot Topics?
Yes, there was. I wish
Bushisms. The Bushisms.
I wish I got
Oh, God, those were great. And he was a Republican.
He was. Just goes to show you. Shitheads and...
I mean, honestly, guys. GW or DT? Take your pick.
Like, here's some, just right off the bat. It's like, I think we agree the past is over. They misunderestimated me. I know that human being and fish can coexist peacefully.
I know that human being and fish can... This is with his accent. With his accent.
Well,
you had Clinton.
Let's have fun with this. Let's keep going down.
Hold on. You had Clinton. I did not have sex with that woman.
And then
and then here I'm
immediately after. There's an old saying in Tennessee. I know it's in Texas, probably in Tennessee. That says, "Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me
twice, shame on
you.
me.
Can't get fooled again."
And you can't get fooled again.
Reliving this is fun. Too many good docs are getting out of the business. Too many OBGYNs aren't able to practice their love with women all across this country.
Got him! Too many OBGYNs aren't able to practice their love for women.
Let's keep going. I'm going to put people in my place so when the history of this administration is written, at least there's an authoritarian voice that says exactly what happened.
Yep. Wow. I kind of miss those days.
Yeah, so do I.
Shit was crazy, but it wasn't like stress you out crazy. It was, spell show. CNN.
I'll be long gone before some smart person even figures out what happened inside the Oval Office.
Oh, God.
I'm the commander, see? I don't need to explain. I do not need to explain why I say things. That's the interesting thing about being the president. Maybe somebody needs to explain to me why they say something, but I don't feel like I owe anybody an explanation. That wasn't even a loop conversation. That was a pretzel.
I was going to say, that was a figure 8.
Yeah.
Woo. Oh, God.
Does anybody miss this? Does anybody miss these gaps?
Oh.
Because at least it still felt like there was somebody who was kind of coherent behind the wheel.
He may have been a little tipsy.
But instead, we got someone that's behind the wheel that's blaming the passenger why they're lost and driving off a cliff. Like, it's this guy's fault.
Although slow and dangerous behind the wheel, senior citizens can still serve a purpose.
I'll be right back. Don't you go dying on me. I got robbed by a sweet old Joe on a motorized cart.
I didn't even see it coming. That's literally what he's doing. He's the old lady in Dumb and Dumber. He is like robbing us blind, and we didn't even see it coming. We did see it coming.
It's because we're at the Rhode Island Slut magazine dispenser.
Rhode Island Slut.
Oh.
With a red right hand. Ding. He's sitting there. Ding. Excuse me, old lady?
Little old lady? Do you have change for $1? No. Change? No, I haven't. Anyway, going way back to the Biden remark. So he's
Cancer.
Talking about... So the White House, of course, went back on what he said. Like, well, actually, what? And
he had cancer.
He had cancer, and he had it removed prior to his presidency.
That's where his penis went.
It's a cancer. His leg hair, he had shaved his leg hairs because they were cancerous.
Don't shave your legs, especially you ladies. That's why there's cancer.
Actually, if you don't shave your legs, that might ward them off. Get your hairy shoulders and hairy legs. Or just dress up like the Easter Bunny. Because evidently he's terrified of the Easter Bunny. I forgot about that till just now. It popped into my head, that video. He turns around the Easter Bunny there. Have you seen that?
No. I want to see it. Hold on.
All right, yeah, you look it up. I'll keep my notes up. You look it up. For anybody who hasn't seen it. Evidently, there's people that still haven't seen it.
Oh, shit. Hold on.
With reporters and guests at the cheerful holiday event when he began discussing Afghanistan with Megan Hayes, a White House presidential
I forgot how fucking ridiculous this is here. Okay.
Alright.
Just watch his face. Looking at the video for Joe Biden, the Easter Bunny.
Biden was filmed speaking with reporters and guests at the cheerful holiday event.
The funny part is when he power walks away, like, get me the fuck out of here. It's like repressed child memories or something. My daddy used to beat my ass. Whoa. Here's a bit of big news while I wait for my colleague here out on a call. Breaking. Vince McMahon is calling it a career. Announces his retirement from WWE. Holy balls. Something I would not see. A lot of people have been calling it. WWE issued a new statement on behalf of Vince McMahon announcing he has officially decided to step away and retire from his role as chairman and CEO of the company. In his statement, McMahon noted that Stephanie McMahon will continue to serve as chairwoman, while she and Nick Khan will both serve as co-CEO. I can only imagine this is because the whole sex charge thing. I just read an article here. It was breaking. Vince McMahon announces his retirement from the WWE.
Who?
Vince McMahon. He's stepping down as chairman and CEO because of the whole sex thing. I think we mentioned it a few weeks back. He paid like $4 million to...
Hush money?
Hush money.
To who?
Was it Liv Morgan or I can't remember. Maybe it says somewhere
Guerrero's sister?
No.
Or wife or whatever, her daughter? Vicky.
Oh God, no.
Oh fuck yeah, bud.
Oh, I'm sorry. Not 4. McMahon was said to have paid $12 million to the woman, including a $7.5 million agreement with a former wrestler who, quote, alleged that Mr. McMahon coerced her into giving him oral sex and then demoted her. Oh, that sucked. Oh, you're a jobber now. I should laugh, but I can't help it.
You want me to put you in a wrestling ring and you can't even suck a dick properly?
And ultimately declined to renew her contract in 2005. God, you're fired.
You fired.
Holy hell. Oh, jeez. In addition to allegations against Vince McMahon, the WWE board is also investigating misconduct claims against John Laurinaitis, who was named in the Journal's June report. He was placed on administrative leave, Laurinaitis, and McMahon stepped down his responsibilities.
Jesus Christ.
They're having... I can't believe that after that, he demoted her and then didn't renew her contract. Like, what? Of course she's... Like, where was the forethought there? Like, I would figure if you're going to do something like that, I better give her at least one good push. Like, and not that kind. Like,
is that good enough?
You'll have the championship for 8 to 10 months. That's a decent push. And if you turn into a star, okay. And if not, whatever. We'll have Charlotte Flair come and take the title off you like we do everyone else. Hey, Charlotte, you want to be the champion for the 38th time? Come on, take the title off her.
15 time. 15.
Yeah. Yeah, anyway, all jokes aside. I can't believe that. Holy shit. All right, so we got Bushisms. We got Biden's skin cancer. That was skin cancer. Got McMahon stepping down.
God, I wish we could just travel back in time to a day when things were better.
We can. I'll get to that in a second. Oh, Biden has COVID, too.
Isn't he vaccinated?
Yeah. You're not going to get COVID if you get vaccinated. Those are his words. Something along those lines. But he says, like, if you get this vaccine, you're not going to get COVID. It's something to that effect. His words. I just watched it like a day or two ago. I think it was the day I found out. Oh, he's got COVID. Like, what? But they're not tracking him. You know, contact tracers?
Yeah.
Not him. Must be nice to be the president. It's a super spreader event. Whatever. Fuck him. I mean, everyone around you. Don't fuck him.
Super shredder.
It might give you a headache.
Super shredder.
Or a heart attack.
Super spreader. Take your pick. Oh, God, Joe.
Yeah. So, yeah, he's got COVID and he had skin cancer. He's senile.
Pow!
He brought up memories of Bush. Oh.
Are you saying pow? Pow! 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 Step Brothers.
That reminds me of, how was it? JCW's Stranglemania.
Oh, yeah.
Was it Stranglemania? No, it wasn't Stranglemania. It was, Oh shit! I can't even remember. I have all 3 volumes. Their commentary things. I have.
CSW
Yeah.
Wrestling, yeah.
Well, one where Shaggy just says something. He goes, psh, psh, and Jay goes, "What was that sound again?" Psh, psh. Anyway,
I love them. The big fucking floppy titty bitch helping out her man, going back to the trailer park when they're done, or some shit along those lines.
who knows? They probably. I love those
They're
videos.
good. We gotta watch those again.
They're right on YouTube.
Really?
Yeah, all 3 of them. Actually, they might have the Slam TV on there too, which is like their seasons of it. Which is later, like in the mid and late 2000s, they filmed those. Anyway, you ever eat a cricket?
Mm-hmm.
Have you? Bitter? That's what everyone tells me. Not me, but that's what I've heard.
Yeah. Not really bitter.
Yeah.
Crunchy and kind of taste weird, but that's about it.
Well, apparently we're going to be eating crickets.
Oh, you mean like Snowpiercer?
Like Bill Gates and Klaus Schwab, specifically those 2 I've heard verbatim. This is by like 2025. They want to replace beef with crickets. Probably not for them. Probably for schmucks like us. People who get pissed off at work while they're driving.
Just pour a little salt on that one, please. Didn't have a good enough
It
day.
was a story off camera.
Oh, yeah.
Well, but
People saw the brighter side of Charlie today. I'm sure outside looking in, there were probably a few people looking at the truck going, click. Please don't come near my car. Please don't come near my car. The fuck are you doing?
yeah, it says this is off Quartz or QZ.com. It says Kirabindram, I guess is the article, is the author here. If I asked you to recommend a easy high protein snack, what would you suggest? Maybe something creamy like Greek yogurt or hummus? That's fucking hippie shit, but anyway. Or a snack with a crunch like trail mix. But what you probably wouldn't recommend? Crickets, cockroaches, grasshoppers. For many people, the idea of eating bugs is gross. Insects may be an important part of the ecosystem, and crickets are a great soundtrack on the summer night. But as far as food goes, a lot of us would say no. There's about 2 billion people already in the world that eat crickets, and I heard that said before, and I go, yeah, that's like Ethiopia and parts of Mexico where they can barely they don't have running water. It's like that's where they eat crickets. Not we're in a first world country. We have air conditioning today. I shouldn't have a plate of fucking crickets and June bugs.
Spicy, isn't it? Do I have something in my teeth?
But I guess one of the reasons is because Bill Gates seems to think that he wants to control carbon. Well, Bill Gates, the whole World Economic Forum, they want to control carbon output. They think carbon is the new thing that's going to destroy the world. Like back in the 70s, it was was it global warming or oil? I can't remember which one. And then it was, they said the sea levels are going to rise 10 feet and that's going to destroy the planet. And then it was, the hole in the ozone layer back in like the 90s, that's going to destroy the planet. And then, what's the latest one was, global warming, that's going to destroy the planet. And that's what they're running with this carbon emissions. It's like, we got to control carbon emissions. And me and you, buddy, and every other 8 billion people in the world, we...
What the hell happened?
Where am I?
Anyway, who the hell are you?
Who are you?
Easy, dial back, buddy. Holy shit. Going straight
I don't know where you're from.
Little Guido here.
Yeah, crickets.
So, want to welcome to the show. We're going to call him Little
Welcome to
Guido.
the show. We're already here. I don't know who that is, but...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, yeah. I had to go to the back.
You had to what?
To the windows! To the wall! Shut up!
Make me.
You're so young.
No.
I did make you. That's the best part. Look at that. You're in a parallel. You're in a multiverse right now. You got a past Charlie and a future present Charlie.
A future present? Presently future Charlie. This isn't the future. Actually, this is in the past.
Yeah.
Them watching right now, which is the future.
To us.
To us. Well, their future, our
past
them
is
in
their
the future.
future.
Yes, them in the future is us right now, our present, which will be their past,
past.
by the time they watch it from our future. Whew. Wrap your head around that one.
Yeah.
I feel like I need protection for that one. I'm going to wrap my head with something.
Oh, no.
Aluminum foil.
Oh,
Chew on aluminum foil.
Fuck in the camera.
What was
You
I
can lower
saying?
your seat a little bit
The
if you
camera
want.
can't see me.
Oh yeah, and a couple other things before we get into whatever we were just talking about, which is a future conversation. But right now we're in the present, so
Yeah.
that doesn't matter. We don't
And
even
then
know we're
we
talking
talk-
about what we're going to be talking about.
And
then.
then when we talk about the future conversation, it'll be bring it up in the past.
Yes, AOC, whatever you just said. AOC got handcuffed, arrested. But she did get arrested, sort of, at a protest for the whole Roe v.
All
Wade
right,
thing.
hold on. I will say for AOC, who is it? For the folks at home, who don't-
Octavia Cortez.
Alexandria Octavia Cortez. She's like the spokesperson.
And she's a darling of the left.
Yeah.
But
And for
she,
people who at home who do not know, my name is Little Guido, and it is an honor to be here.
Hey.
whatever you just said, stranger. Stranger danger.
If you can't tell, that's mine.
We don't know yet.
Because are you fucking serious?
Don't you?
Wow. It's a good thing, your other parent doesn't watch this. I hope she does. I hope she does.
It's a really, really long test.
Oh my God.
Joking.
You literally doesn't matter.
I like the timing. I got a new co-host.
Fuck you. It's all yours.
You're like what's her face and Vince McMahon there. The whole
No, okay, Kitty Kirk.
this still cracks me up.
He forced
shit.
me.
No, you're obviously my dad.
Oh, didn't you already do that?
No, but I actually did forget about it. I think I did do that, but whatever.
I'm just playing dad. We know.
All right. Don't worry about it. You don't have to specify. We're good. It's all jokes. We're all having fun. It's shock value. We're having a good time. Holy shit. I'm gonna tell her back into the past so I kick my own ass.
She she did get arrested, I guess, sort of.
Now for what?
Just non-compliance, protest bullshit. They're kind of arrested. But when she got walked away, but with her hands behind her back, like she was arrested. So when everyone got a hold of the footage, they're like, "Oh my God, she was handcuffed, walked away." But then if you see the whole footage, she's walking away, and as she walks away, she looks over at like this crowd of protesters, and she puts her fist up, like the whole Black Power thing, or whatever the fuck. Like she wasn't really handcuffed.
So let me get this straight.
Just holding her hair is right.
Because she was in non-compliance,
Right.
she was escorted out of the protest.
Right.
So she didn't make the sandwich right and was walked back to the kitchen. I got it.
Yeah. Butter knife power. Just holding it.
Miracle Whip.
Yeah.
It's about the whitest thing you can put on a sandwich. Fuck you, Miracle Whip. No offense. It's good, I guess.
No,
I prefer
take
Mount.
It's okay.
No, it's not. I think it's terrible.
Oh, Miracle Whip is terrible.
I think it's absolutely terrible.
It depends on how you use it. It's okay.
I guess, but I on a plain old sandwich,
No, it's not good on a sandwich. Like, other ways how you use it.
You just eat it with a spoon.
Yeah.
So what are you doing with Miracle Whip?
Spoon.
You have a dog?
Nope.
I hope not. Wait a minute. We have cats.
I really like this dog. We don't have a dog.
That would hurt.
Shut up.
That would hurt so bad.
Shut up. Stop. This wasn't a good idea.
It's funny because he's so uncomfortable.
You knew what you were walking into.
Yeah, I did.
Why did I do this?
Of course, I'm like, this is a great idea. And then much like the drugs I did when I was younger, wow, I'm enjoying this, but it's going to end bad. That's exactly what it is. Right now is like a drug trip back when I was younger. This is great in the moment, but I have a bad feeling when it comes to an end.
It's like the little kid going on a major roller coaster for the first time. Like, I'm having fun. Oh boy! And then like Lastly, the whole article I read yesterday when we were at the fireworks thing.
Oh yeah.
The monkeypox. Now,
Yeah.
The World Health Organization is now declaring monkeypox a worldwide emergency. It's not like a pandemic yet, but it's an emergency.
You had to say it.
How did that even start? Someone bucked the monkey?
What?
What?
Probably.
Fuck it. I would have probably said
But
the same
actually,
thing.
like, how did that even become?
It was. I guess it was a mute. I don't know. Probably a mutation of another virus.
Kind of like COVID.
Yes, it kind of like mutated from something else.
Which definitely wasn't man-made.
No.
In a lab at all, ever.
Okay, look. There you go. That's better.
I already was.
All right, good.
I know the cues.
What
do you know?
I'm the only Q here. It's not
What are you talking about? You don't know the cues. You've never been here before.
I watched the show.
You're not supposed to.
Why not?
Because there's a lot of things I say that I shouldn't. Just ask our viewers at home. I would love to read our. One of these days, I will tear through our comments.
Yeah.
If that wasn't an Elvin sound, I don't know what is.
I think most of them are fine. Most of them are. Sometimes I put videos out where people just kind of squabble back and forth, and it's like watching a game of chess with verbal cues that
Between two people with no fingers.
I really think it's fucking bots.
Oh, it probably
I
is.
swear, like half of them are bots. I'm like,
We are bot breeders.
How does that work?
I don't know.
Well, the same way robot handles a one night stand.
Terminator.
Nuts and bolts.
That's my boy. It just got to your uncle.
You know, there's never mind. So many.
What?
Nothing.
Just say it. Say it. You already opened mouth. Insert foot.
Say it.
Let's go.
I don't know, but we're likely to go back in time 2 years to the start of another pandemic with a monkeypox. I'll just make that call right now.
Oh, well, that's nice.
I hate to say it, but you're probably right.
Unfortunately, because it is in the U.S. There was the case in Albany or whatever they said.
Yeah, where the woman
And they couldn't figure it out. Was it you that said it was?
Ty
Was it Ty?
with the barrel with the not the barrel.
The barrel of
trailer,
monkeys?
The trailer of monkeys.
Isn't it
the
almost
barrel
like
of monkey.
98% lethal?
What?
Isn't it almost like 98% lethal?
No. Well, there's two variants. There's one that's like a bad rash, basically, or like COVID, and then there's another one.
I've seen some really bad pictures where like their whole entire hand is almost like
Yeah,
completely
well,
covered
it
with
covers their
shit.
body.
Yeah.
From what I gather, but it's
like a hand,
chicken
foot, mouth
pox, but
disease.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
what I've seen on, like,
Oh,
pictures
whoops.
and stuff.
Didn't mean to say that. That'll give the world, it's just another hand, mouth, foot disease.
It's a disease of feet. Everyone's turning into feet. No, that's not what it is. Ugh.
I used to have a penis. Now I have a foot.
Our society has become this weird amalgamation of idiocracy and don't look up.
Heads down, thumbs up.
I was so good at that. Like watching people's feet.
Yep. So did I.
Who didn't do that?
I don't care what anybody says.
But you know, that game was actually originally invented so that the teachers could know who would cheat on a test or not.
Yeah. If you actually
Can you
fact check it.
Yep.
It's legit. He showed me the news article. It surprised me.
from where?
It was on
it.
Google, obviously.
Google
I forgot the source.
Oh, then it's 100% accurate.
Yeah,
Doesn't
'cause-
matter where it came from.
Yeah.
No, Google.
1492.
Columbus sailed the ocean blue.
That's when they discovered America.
That's when he discovered the Americas.
Oh, no. Back in 92, I remember. That's when they discovered America.
Oh, yeah, but he really didn't discover
And
it.
the Indians were friendly with them. And we discovered Thanksgiving.
friendly.
And they made up Thanksgiving, and everyone was happy.
Wasn't that like just like a?
There was
History-
definitely no slavery.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
or murder.
wasn't there slavery,
or raping and
murder?
pillaging.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
You have no
wasn't
clue
there
what you're
all
talking
that?
about. History's taught you all wrong.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, it was very much real, what I just said.
Everything was
Whatever
all
I just
perfect
said.
and happy.
Let's go back to the past to figure out what I just said, because I honestly can't remember.
Well, how do we do that then?
Like travel into the future and finding a time machine that can take us back to the past.
How do we travel in the future then?
Time travel.
How? Well, if you don't have a time traveler.
You don't need a machine, turns out.
Really?
Really?
How?
There is somebody in the world right now that technically is 4 nanoseconds, or milliseconds or nanoseconds in the future.
What?
Because they've spent
in space?
800 and some days in space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because of, you can't roll your eyes because it's true. And the more you go into it, the more time travel is a thing. A very, very small thing, but here's the idea. You've opened the door, so now you just got to figure out a way to just bust the whole thing open. Because it varies. It's very true.
I mean, that's the same.
Just
theory.
red pill him. Then
That's
that
the
door
same
go
theory
wide
how,
open.
what's his name from Star Wars?
Oh, Han Solo.
Han Solo. How Han Solo is thousands of years old.
He's not thousands.
Well, hundreds.
Did you hear about the theory about Han Solo? About how he's actually like hundreds of years
Enlighten
old?
me.
Okay, so you know the Kessel Run.
Okay.
You know, if you actually read into Star Wars like lore, the Kessel Run, he's the only person to pull it off in 12 parsecs because the Kessel Run is so dangerous because you basically have to circumvent around a black hole,
Right.
which takes forever. What Han Solo does is
go ahead.
he goes towards the black hole and kind of boomerangs around it using its force to pull him in, shoots out, and then slingshots back. Like, so he does this number.
I understand what you're saying.
Gets close to it, loses the force, thrust this way. As it's pulling, it slings him.
Right.
And speeds him up out to the other side, which is why he makes the Kessel Run in 12 parsecs, which everybody in the Star Wars universe is like, there's no way. I did it. Han Solo. The theory of black holes are when you get close, it pulls everything in, correct? Even time.
Yes.
Time, like it bends it. So by him going that way, he's actually traveling ahead in time. And he's done the run so many times that he's actually added years to his life. But he's really, in actuality, he's technically like 32.
He's stopping time around him while the time in the rest of the universe is moving around him.
Yeah.
So and if you, I don't know if that's actual, like, it probably isn't in Star Wars lore, but what they're doing,
if you watch Star Wars Explained, it talks about it.
but
On YouTube.
that's fine. It's probably a fan page or something, right?
It's a fan.
What I'm saying is in lore itself, that probably isn't the case.
Well, I haven't seen. Okay, yes, I will go with it's fan theory.
But that idea right there is based in our physics and mathematically reality.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I brought it up.
There is a theory that if there was 2 black holes right next to each other, not quite crossing or touching, but there was a small fabric in between, if you traveled around them, traveling through that fabric, that, by technicality, you would end up, if you started the travel, let's say it took an hour to get around, just in theory. By the time you got back to it, you would actually be before you started travel, time-wise.
So would you see yourself?
Because when you were talking about before, like a bubble, it's not actually a bubble. It's just time, like you. There's like no bubble or anything like that. It's just like...
That was just metaphorical.
Say like an aging process or something like that. You have X amount of time. The black hole thing is, like you said, everything gets sucked into it because the gravitational force is so strong. What it actually does is slow everything down, like slow everything, aging process, everything down for you. So before you cross that event horizon and actually get pulled into it, which I guess theoretically not much would happen to you until you actually reach the center of it. Like you'd go through and feel like no pain or anything as you traveled.
And then all of a sudden, clips.
More or less. Or something about like boiling skin or before you actually compress. I don't know.
Or just like Infinity War,
But we don't actually know because you can't. But I guess the light that would emit from you once you travel, like once you cross the event horizon, what do you think would happen? Like what would you as a third party watching someone cross the event horizon, what would you see?
Interstellar. With Matthew McConaughey, I think it would be such... It would almost like you would vanish in a split second. But what outside looking in, you would just see, poof, it would disappear. But as the person in that first person point of view, they would literally see, like, I hate to say it, they've gone plaid. You'd see almost that sort of an effect of everything getting pulled in with you. You'd see everything whizzing by within milliseconds, and be gone.
I don't know about what you would see getting pulled into it. I don't know. I have any idea. But what I do know is, like, listening to physicists, like, if you got pulled in and you were watching someone get pulled in, and like, it would basically be if you were watching cartoons and someone goes through a wall and they would see that one outline, you would see that imprint of their last whatever, and it would stop and it would look like they were frozen in time. And then after that, they would just slowly kind of fade, because the light emitted from them is that last bit of light that could escape the black hole, and that's all you see. So that would just fade over time.
What I personally think would happen.
It is weird.
Like, being inside of it, like being sucked into it, what I think you would see is like light slowly fading away. Like, it would start slowly going to darkness and just poof. And when it fully goes away, then you're dead as well.
I have no idea.
The only thing I remember seeing when I went into a black hole was a red light blinking. I thought it was just the camera charging. That maybe I've gone into a black hole.
The only thing I remember seeing with a black hole is this fleshy thing that poked me in the eye after.
No,
black hole right there. Why don't you go to it? Why? What's in it?
Do it again. Do it again. Do it again.
Oh, man, I tried my other eye.
And
No,
from a
remember?
third-person perspective, I think like
Scary movie. Do it again. Do it again.
and like from a third-person perspective, I think what would you
What
see?
did you just say?
I
It
don't
is
know.
yours.
From a third-person point of view.
Yeah, from a third-person point of view.
Slow down.
What I think what you would see is like almost like how they faded away in Infinity War, but instead of like them fading away into particles, like they would slowly stretch out and then they would just.
No,
Almost-
it would just be a light. It would be. Let's say you take
The
a drawing
stick on
and put
fire.
it. You take a drawing.
Yes, kind of like that.
No,
No?
You take a drawing, like in colored pencil or something, and then you put it up to your, basically what's happening to my flag right now. You put it up to a window of the sun and how it fades and fades and fades and fades over time.
Yeah.
It would be like that.
Oh, okay.
Maybe not
Yeah,
as
yeah.
slowly. Maybe
Yeah.
it's faster. I don't know, but it would be like that. Like,
I feel
so
like that's
I would
super
watch you go, like, let's say you just walk through that door and that was the event horizon. Whatever, like, motion you were doing as you cross the event horizon, that's what it would freeze in, and that's what it would stay. And then slowly that would fade away. And
I see
then,
what you mean, right? Yeah.
That's the last image you guys are going to see of me, fuckers.
I just turn around and go, turn myself in space.
Stick my ass out. Like, what was it? Pompeii?
Even in death.
Was it Pompeii? Where the people got covered in... No.
Oh, yeah.
Pompeii.
Yeah. What was he doing? Nothing.
He was enjoying his last moments on Earth. He definitely was. It was a true paradise.
Yeah, so the slower or the faster someone moves, the slower time moves for that person. That's orbiting Earth. So that's what I was saying, that one person that spent like 800 some
Yeah.
days in orbit, they've actually slowed time down for them, and they've jumped into the future, technically. So,
I mean...
when I say they've jumped into the future, your first thought, most people's first thought is like, oh, they jumped into the future. So to
A slow
us, to be
clock.
like, oh, so how can I see you if you're 4 seconds in the future? Doesn't work like that.
It's more like when you have a dying watch. That's what happened. The watch could be an hour behind, but here they are with us. That's the kind of... That's what...
Yes and no. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, all right, all right.
So
Yeah. He did
he is technically in the future.
technically
Yeah.
in the future, which is our present.
Right.
But to him, with time moving relative to himself...
Here's my question, though. So, let's say, on a grand scale, let's say you could go into orbit and watch. Let's say you could like visually see like a landmark or something on Earth. So technically, you're in space traveling, or traveling through a time. I guess your time lapse is slower than those on Earth, but you're watching in orbit the same thing as or what's going on whatever, some landmine,
Washington
some
Monument.
landmark or something. Yeah, whatever people. So technically there'd be people down by it, whatever. But you're watching it the entire time. So you're traveling at X time lapse and watching Y time lapse at the same time. How would that work?
There's two problems I have with what you just said. And maybe they're not problems. I have two.
Everything?
Two
And what you
questions.
said.
No. I have two questions, two remarks, whatever you want to call them, in regards to what you just said. It kind of, because it makes me wonder something now. Like, have you ever been on a plane?
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever watched from like 32,000 feet down? Mm-hmm. It almost looks like everything's moving faster. It's like on the highway when you look at a tire. And sometimes the wheel looks like it's spinning backwards.
They have to be going really fast because I don't ever see that. Maybe with like
in the passenger
helicopters with the rudders.
Yeah, there you go.
Right.
That
it looks like it's just
effect.
like maybe not spinning backwards, but it looks like it's just slower. Or a meat slicer, something like that. When the blades as fast as they go, or not a meat slicer. What is it? Vegetables or whatever it is. It's actually like single blades that are curved.
Yeah.
When that goes super fast,
like
it just
a
looks like
blender.
it's doing this.
Yes.
All right.
So,
But that has nothing to do with time, right? That's just optical.
but that's what I'm
illusion of
saying.
watching.
Like, here he is watching time relative to himself.
Right.
Here he is in time relative to himself, watching time at an accelerated rate. So, I wonder if watching those people, they would look like they were scurrying around a little faster.
I wish we had Neil deGrasse Tyson or Michio Kaku or someone sitting here.
And here's my other thing that I wanted to bring up in regards.
Or Michael from Vsauce.
Or, hold on.
Hey, Vsauce.
Like, you know how when you drive on the road, but if you look right next to you, everything looks like it's going super fast. But if you look farther away, everything looks like it's going slow.
That's relative to distance.
Yeah.
That's not really time.
Yeah, true.
That's a visual effect. Now, really quick. Here's the other thing. How did they know he was in a slow rate of time?
Science.
Really? Because the timer
what's
on that spaceship...
What's the clock? What is it called? It's super accurate. It's going to drive me nuts.
The pendulum thing?
Nope.
No.
Death clock?
No. That's something completely
Okay,
different.
anime.
No,
Futurama.
no. The Doom timer or whatever it is.
Oh, the Doomsday timer.
Yeah,
Doomsday clock. Yeah, that's
Thanks.
whatever. I thought you were talking about the death clock from Futurama. Ooh, dibs on the CD player.
Oh, the atomic clock? I think that's what it is.
Maybe, yeah.
Measured by monitoring the frequency of radiation of atoms.
What?
Yeah.
No, maybe not. Hold on.
There is a clock out there that is supposed to be the most accurate clock.
There's a type of clock, and it's driving me nuts.
Perpetual motion?
Maybe it is the atomic clock, accurate to 100 quadrillionth of a second. I think if that's what it is, what I'm going to say, they had. We'll just say the atomic clock. Insert correct answer there if that's not it. They had, I think, 4 or 6 of these, and they had 2 or 3 of them on Earth, and they sent 2 or 3 of them in orbit. And when they came back, they measured them, and the 3 that were in orbit were actually faster, or were ahead than the 3 of them. The 3 of them down here on Earth were ahead, and the ones that were in orbit. So time had slowed down, or whatever fucking direction it was. I think the ones in orbit were ahead. But.
No, they would be behind.
How would he... okay, then, if he's X amount of time ahead, how would he be viewing the world? Like, how is it any different for him at all?
No,
Marsh, you have to understand. Basically,
it would be like if you...
So, hold on really quick. Sorry to cut you off. Basically, energy... I'm going to go a little over scientific, I guess you could say. Energy moves at one rate. His energy...
That's not true either.
Slow, fast, it moves.
It does.
His... it's in my head. I just don't know how to put it to words.
Blurt it out.
Because that's one thing, too, that... I was listening to... I don't know. I can't remember who it was. Some lecture, and they were talking about how space-time is not constant through the universe at all.
Time is linear. It always keeps moving forward. There's that.
It's linear, but
Doesn't
that's
matter.
also another thing that they don't quite know, because there's I'll get back to the linear thing, but what I'm saying is there's X amount of time. It takes what, 1.5 or 1.3 seconds for light to go from the moon to Earth. It's something like that, and I think it's like 7 seconds from the Earth, or from the sun to Earth. Or maybe it's longer. Maybe it's like 7 minutes.
I think it's like 8 minutes.
I think 7,
8
7,
minutes.
yeah, something like that.
7.5.
So it takes that long to get from, A to B. But there's parts of the universe they've seen that it actually, like or the speed of light information will speed up and slow down. So information and time, time is how you measure like distance A to B or speed of information. But it'll speed up and slow down. So they figured that the fabric of time is actually, or the fabric of space acts differently in different parts of the universe. So our idea of time, or like how we measure it here on Earth, is completely different somewhere else. I think Jupiter or Neptune or something like that, they've I think measured that it works differently.
So basically, no. Time is a human construct then.
Yeah. Well, that's another.
Because
Now you're getting into theory. I mean, this whole thing relates to theory, because now that's an old question. Is time a human construct, or was time always present?
Time is a human construct then, because if you want to get technical, the guy didn't time travel. All he did was slow the movement of his energy. Everything slows in space, correct? That's like putting socks on a cat and telling the cat to run against a cat with no socks. All you're doing is impeding its function. You're slowing down the force, the motion.
Right.
If you slow it down, that cat is still in the same time as shown, in the same presence of the other cat.
Right.
It's just at two different states.
Right. So the next question to that is, if time doesn't exist, it's human construct, then what is the fill in the blank?
Cycles.
Which would be time.
Yeah.
Because it has to be measured.
Could be rotations. No.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Literally.
Fuck you, clock. Frequencies?
It's still time because frequencies are measured.
I mean, if you talk about distance and travel, yeah.
But that's just it. Everything has a label of time on it.
I'm not trying to stump you to,
gigabytes per second,
to make you look
miles
like a
per
fool.
hour.
Or maybe we're just like
feet per second.
Here. Maybe we're just here. Then.
But yeah, that's distance.
You could basically insert any word then. Miles per hour, miles per blink, or miles per cycle.
But that's still time.
It's still a unit of measurement, yeah.
Yeah, because that's what we've been conditioned to look at it.
I understand what you're saying. Again, we have different methods to measure it, but let's say, all right, this is all our units. All it is just a unit of measure. So take that away. What is it then? Mm-hmm. Like, is it just instances all the time?
Miles per cycle, or minutes, or miles per milliscycle. You could insert any word for that.
Per is like the.
I get what you're saying, but the point. So, energy is measured how? What's a unit of what?
Wavelength.
Okay, so you could say miles per wave, miles per milliwave. Cycle. That word could be used. Anything can be put in place of a time word now.
Well, that wouldn't really work, because then it'd be like miles per inches. I mean, that's basically what you just said. Like, miles per wavelength is like, all right, miles per feet.
There's definitely a fucking.
It's just out of curiosity.
No, I get what you're saying.
For everybody out there, just do that one day and be like, how many miles per feet were you going? And just watch their face, like, just kind of break that down in their head, like, I'm going to take a break. That's what their brain just said to themselves. Let's figure it out.
No, I did that episode of Family Guy. Hey, you ever wonder what size of this world? Well, that's dangerous thinking. You just get back to doing your work. Huh? Yeah, sorry about that. They were inside Peter's head. No, I think obviously we have the basis of time that we've been conditioned to adhere to.
Time is almost like, sorry to cut you off. Time is almost, for now, time is almost like us trying to concept the fourth dimension.
Well, I think that's even further.
I think time is a construct of our need to have a grasp of what's going on.
Yeah.
Like religion.
I heard the perfect analogy for us trying to understand the fourth dimension. It was, see if I don't butcher this. I'm shouldn't. It's pretty easy. Let's say you have two pieces of paper, two circles, and all they know is left and right, forward and backward. And we in the third dimension are looking down on those pieces of paper, which have no concept of up or down. Like it just doesn't exist.
That's a 2D plane.
That's a 2D plane of existence, existing in a 3D world. They have no idea what up and down is, so they have no idea anything.
They can't see it
above and below. Yeah,
it.
they don't get it.
Nope.
That's basically us trying to understand the fourth dimension. What is the fourth dimension? It's like, apparently there's 9 dimensions. We can't even fucking figure out the fourth dimension, let alone 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Jeez, I didn't even know there was 9 dimensions.
And how do they know there's 9 dimensions?
Yeah, I'm kind of curious.
What if there's only 5? What if there's
only
fucking
2?
infinity?
Yeah,
Fuck that. I saw what happened to Doctor Strange in the multiverse.
I haven't yet. Don't spoil it.
What if it's not anything like that?
Yeah.
What if like going to the next dimension is just like,
What if death is the next dimension?
It's like saying,
what if crossing into the next dimension is like being birthed by a cow or some shit like that? Like Ace Ventura 2.
Mommy!
He came from the third dimension.
Welcome to the fourth dimension. Here's your red pill. That's a little too big to fit down my throat. It's a suppository.
Would we even be able to see in the fourth dimension because we're third dimensional creatures?
But
I don't
that's what
know.
We don't know.
Because if you
Evidently not. Because apparently,
if you take it from,
mathematically,
like how you just said it, 2D things can't grasp it. They can't see up or down. They only know and see forward and back.
right.
So then that'd be like us being in the fourth dimension.
I guess that's where the idea comes from. Is the fourth dimension existing where we are now, or is it a whole other thing? Because
Ghost,
if
man.
you look at
Ghost.
if you look
They are
at
the fourth
like the piece of paper analogy, there's still thickness to it. I mean, I got the point across with that analogy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But just here, there's still thickness to it, and energy and lightning and everything. There's still thickness to it. There's still something there.
That's the third dimension for us.
Yeah, that's all third dimension. So
Yeah, but
is there a
second
fourth dimension?
Second dimension is just completely.
I want to go to the
basically
first
nothing.
dimension.
First dimension is like basically nothing.
That's like when we play video games, just one dimensional.
I hate Elden Ring. I hate Elden Ring, but I can't stop playing it. It's like crack from my genitals.
What?
He stole it right out of my mouth. Like, what?
It doesn't have to make sense because 70% of the time it works every time.
Except when it doesn't.
Fucking because the game's broke.
It's always the game, never the player.
That's right.
I think
Ask your uncle what it is.
Okay.
in space, traveling 99.999% the speed of light for 1 second on Earth, it would be the equivalent of 20 hours. So if you traveled for 1 day, the speed or just under the speed of light, that would be the equivalent of traveling forward. You would, when you landed back on Earth, let's say you were orbiting,
Yeah.
you would land back on Earth 72,000 years in the future.
It's funny that you say that because hold on,
Yeah.
I remember seeing a show. I forgot what the show was called, but it talked about time travel and how if they built a train that could travel the speed of light around the perfect equator of the globe, Earth, and they did that for 1 year. They went around the planet. They would travel like years into the future.
Mm-hmm.
When they stopped the train, it would be like so many years ahead.
Right. I think through this conversation, I think we've established that mathematically, or it's literally and mathematically, for these bigger jumps forward, traveling in the future is possible.
Oh, hold on.
It's on paper easy.
Mm-hmm.
That's easy. You're just coming up with the technology and the power source to actually do it.
Yeah.
That's, obviously that's the problem. Nowhere near our possibility right now.
Problem.
We have the Large Hadron Collider.
All you
in
need is
CERN.
a DeLorean and a 1.21 gigawatt. What's that fucking thing called?
Flux capacitor?
Flux capacitor.
That's true.
Speaking
And they
of
came up with that back in 84 or
I know.
85.
Would you consider? Because I seen an article and it was all over TikTok for a little while. At least I was on my page. But
These young whippersnappers with their TikToks and
their booty
and
shaking.
click clocks and all that crazy shenanigans.
At one
And they're-
point, scientists were trying to develop a spaceship, basically, to where they would take,
Dude, I have a spaceship. 2004, key mark. My rocket ship. Anyway,
So where it would take
inside joke.
take stuff in front of it, like
It's so
space
high.
and almost like space in front of it, and put it behind it, almost. So would you consider that time travel?
Wait, say that again?
A spaceship. So I'll use this as a thing. So this is a spaceship. This is a
Okay.
spaceship, and my hand is everything that's in front of it. The spaceship takes this and puts it behind it.
No, I know what you're talking about. It's
Yeah.
the inchworm thing. I can't remember the name of it.
So would you
it's an
consider that
actual
time
drive.
travel?
It's an actual drive. That's not time travel. Now you're talking.
Yeah, but it's taking
That's
everything
bending.
in front
That's
of it.
bending the fabric of time, or bending space time. I guess.
Fuck that. We saw
There's-
what happened in Event Horizon.
There's a name for it. That's sort of what they're doing, except they used a black hole. They created a black hole to actually jump it. That's actually another theory in doing it. Problem is they have no idea, one, what traveling through a wormhole would be or what's inside of it, which is their problem they had in the movie. Fantastic, underrated
They
movie.
found out. No, they made it through the wormhole to the other side.
But what he's talking about is there's an actual it's a name for it, whatever the drive is.
Hyperdrive.
What it would do is essentially take the fabric of space, and let's say this kazoo.
That's not the sound.
We're going to go through time of the kazoo.
That's not the sound of growing up.
Is your space-time. This water bottle going forward, and then, whatever the time is back here. What the drive would do is actually pull, like a rug, the fabric forward to it, and then expand it behind it. So you're actually just like, it'd be like,
Leapfrog.
instead of walking from me to the door, I would be pulling the rug from the door to me, and then letting the rug go out. So everything would just come to me. So instead of me traveling through it, it would be it traveling past me. That was basically the same concept they had with the remake of Star Trek back in 2008.
The first one.
Yeah.
With Simon Pegg.
Yeah. When they had that, the idea was when Simon Pegg was looking at it, and Leonard Nimoy said,
Yes.
"Yeah, here's what's." He goes, "Oh, it's like I never even considered the concept of like."
Yeah, because
Staying like whatever it is, I'm going to butcher it, but staying, having space move past me instead of me move through space. That's the idea of that.
Because Leonard Nimoy cheats in that movie.
He really did. I felt like he's like,
Yeah.
I was like, man, it's awesome seeing him here, but he's just
I'm not supposed to-
He's just like pushing everyone in the whole.
I'm not supposed to interfere with the past.
And then there he is.
What's stopping like us from flying, and like when we jump, like the Earth like flying from underneath our feet? Like what's stopping us from doing
Gravity.
that? So without gravity, we just like if we were jumping, we just go.
If there was no such thing as gravity, when we jumped, see, it'd be like Death's Dream.
It's like when you tie a rope to a bucket of water to the handle and swing it upside down.
Oh, G-force.
The bottom of that, the bottom of that bucket is basically what's stopping us from going. That would be the G-force, unless you ask flat earthers, and
Didn't Death have that dream once?
that's something else. No, his dream was he'd walk by people and he'd just trip them if both your feet to the left, if you're both your feet.
It'd be like the Happening.
Yeah. Yeah. Everyone had to walk around shuffling their feet. And
You didn't like somebody trip him.
what if you only only one of your legs left? I can't split.
All right, Eileen.
Let me
Unless
find.
you go hang out with Peg.
me find the. I want to know the name of this damn thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Then there's the whole grandfather paradox, which I thought there was an interesting check and checkmate to
Futurama
that.
already did it.
What?
The grandfather paradox, where Fry went back in time and became his own grandfather.
Oh well, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
how does
okay.
that work? How does that work?
Well, here's the idea:
Is that why Fry's
there's a
stupid?
theory that with the grandfather paradox, there's a theory that says if you went back in time and knocked off your own grandfather, well, then if my grandfather didn't exist, my mother or father didn't, therefore I didn't. There's a theory that says if you did that, the universe would correct itself, and then when you came back, or back then, whenever, who's to say that you or your parents weren't adopted and just never knew? So who you thought you knocked off your grandparents, you actually didn't.
It could alter the timeline. But now you're getting into Marvel. You're getting into like Marvel Cinematic Universe almost with Doctor Strange, where the one or two different things we hear could cause splinters, alternate timelines to create.
It's the Alcubre? The
That's how
Alcubre
I
drive?
think like that stuff type like how it kind of works. Like multiverse.
Multiverse.
Multiverse. 'Cause, like, there can be a universe where we're not even having this conversation right now. Where I decided not to show up, or where you didn't decide to show up, just because like you didn't want to.
Infinite possibilities.
Like you can create like one just by like thinking like you're going to touch that. I'm going to touch it. Oh no, I didn't. Now there's another universe where I did touch it, just like I did. But then now there's also another universe where I didn't
think,
touch it.
therefore I am. That's philosophy. But it's this drive that I was talking about before. It says objects. The idea is objects cannot accelerate at the speed of light within normal space time. Instead, I think it's Alcubre drive shifts space around the object so the object would arrive at its destination more quickly than light would in normal space without breaking any physical laws.
Jesus.
So why can't you go faster than the speed of light?
It's information.
Because
It's
here's
literally the speed of information.
Oh,
If I
it's like the basis of everything.
get just Joe Schmo explaining this in upstate. Me sitting here, you know I'm here and talking
Yes.
to you through sound waves and light waves.
Mm-hmm.
If I am faster than light and I get to you, like, how would I get to you faster than the information of me getting to you?
just by doing it.
That's probably actually the best like counter to that.
Yeah.
It's like,
Just by doing it.
because.
Yeah.
What? Oh, I got to go back to the drawing board.
shit. 17 years of research down the fucking train.
Yeah, so that's
That's interesting.
That's the drive.
Alcubre. They couldn't call it the Chupacabra? The demon goat dog, whatever it is.
I don't know
The
what
devil
it is.
goat dog, devil dog, I don't know.
Devil dog?
I don't fucking know. That's a good little treat, actually.
So, where was I?
That would be pretty fucking interesting to see in theory, I guess.
Yeah, so that the grandfather paradox that's one way they said that would correct itself. It's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
oh well, you were actually adopted and you just had no idea. It's like, damn, I got the wrong person.
Or,
And that poor guy that you just killed, he was innocent the whole time.
but like you said, who knows? Maybe it isn't even that. Maybe
Or the butterfly effect. There's that whole thing. So
Oh, yeah.
What if you went back in time? And now we're talking about going back in time before I get down that. That's a whole other thing. That's what I was saying before. Going forward in time, we've quote figured that out. Air quotes.
Yeah.
Going backward in time is a whole other can of worms that is like way more difficult.
you'd actually have to go closer to gravity.
No, there was one theory I heard that was either a loop or it was if you could develop a tunnel or like a giant straw basically that gravity didn't influence inside of it. Whatever's inside wasn't influenced by anything on the outside. The problem is going through it would have to be an infinite tunnel. Or it would have to loop in on itself. And traveling through it, Oh my God, I've already lost myself in this. Like just listening to it, I'm like, how the fuck?
Hold on. If you want to get technical, we have on paper figured out how to travel into the future.
Right.
So, based off fact, if the further away from gravitational pull you go, time slows. Hypothetically, the closer you go to the gravitational pull, time would accelerate.
Right.
What I'm saying is, if here is
your time would accelerate, which that would just kill you. That's not going backwards in time. Time is still going forward. You're just talking about how fast or slow it's going.
No, hold on. Hear me out. So time slows in space. Here we are on Earth. This guy's 4 seconds ahead. This guy goes down close enough to the gravitational pull, to the center of the gravity, to go 4 seconds in the past and then come back.
How?
Because time is accelerating for him. He's aging 4 seconds faster. I guess.
Here's another question. This is just kind of off the cuff. We've talked about going forward in time. Like one person goes up, goes into space. He's 0.004 whatever milliseconds in the future, technically. What if you took everything that's existing, applied the same concept, except you, and pushed that into the future? Are you now in the past?
Well, that's what I'm saying. If you
you're not. But if let's say I did that, everyone else is in the future, quote, and I'm in the past. I didn't travel in the past though. I just traveled at a slower rate as everyone else. I'm still going forward.
But he didn't travel in the future. He traveled at a faster rate.
He's traveled normal. Everyone else traveled faster to him, whereas everyone else traveled faster and he traveled slower. But still, everyone is traveling. It's like two cars next to each other. This bus with everyone else travels fast, and this car is going slow. But you're still going eastbound.
Yeah,
it's not like one car turns around and goes, "I'm going this way." You're still both going in the future. It's just one gets to the destination.
You're
before
being
the
left
other.
in the past. You're not traveling. Okay.
Right, yeah.
That's okay. So yeah, then that is exactly what I'm getting at.
The question to go back
left.
in the past though is turning around on that interstate and going the other way. How the fuck? Because you can't turn around on U-turns unless you're an emergency vehicle. So then that's how you do it. To travel in the past, you just need emergency lights.
No.
Join a volunteer fire department and you can be a time traveler too. I figured it out.
Okay, so let me ask you something then.
Okay.
If that guy technically traveled into the future,
Yeah.
Quote.
Wait.
so everybody advanced forward, he slowed down, he comes back, he's 4 milliseconds into the future. If that guy went closer to the center of the center of gravity and then came back, could he balance that out?
I was just thinking about the analogy anyway. It's like, what if he sped up past the bus after the bus passed him? What would happen? Well, they probably get an accident for speeding for one. And then those emergency vehicles would come back.
Yes. I want some scientists out there to figure that shit out.
They probably already have, and we just haven't found it.
Yeah, probably.
I want to put that out as a theory. Patent pending. Fuckers at home.
It's not pending. It can't be pending. I can make up a theory right now. God is a banana.
Probably. No, what I'm saying though is, if by their scientific fact, by their line of thinking,
I'm a banana.
Look at me move. If you go into space, your time slows, our time travels normal. Mm-hmm. You're going further from gravity. In theory, if you went closer to gravity, you would accelerate while everyone else went at a normal time. And when you came back, technically you would be 4 milliseconds behind everybody.
But if you accelerated, that means your age would get older.
Which is where there's your problem with time travel.
Just reading on wormhole.
If you travel forward, you slow down your aging. If you travel back, you accelerate your aging.
Or it's the other way around.
Stop punching holes in my theory. If I punch holes in
Stop using logic.
How like
A proposed timeline machine using a transversal wormhole would hypothetically work in the following way. One end of the wormhole is accelerated to some significant fraction of the speed of light, perhaps with some advanced propulsion system, and then brought back to the point of origin. Alternatively, another way is to take one entrance of the wormhole and move it to within the gravitational field of an object that has higher gravity than the other entrance, and then return it to the position near the other entrance. For both these methods, time dilation causes the end of the wormhole that has been moved to have aged less or become younger. Oh, well. That was explained more thoroughly, and we were just talking about
yeah, traveling forward,
Well, they were talking about wormholes and what? Well, hold on. Then the stationary end, as seen by the external observer. However, time connects differently through the wormhole than outside it, so that synchronized clocks at either end of the wormhole will always remain synchronized, as seen by an observer passing through the wormhole, no matter how the two ends move around. This means that an observer entering the younger end would exit the older.
what?
Let's get past this. We can get by this.
time travelers are pedos.
Hey, I'm going to reread this. I don't want you to laugh, either of you. This means that an observer entering the younger end.
Fuck you.
This is serious stuff.
God.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
I'm done.
Okay, that was the last laugh.
Would
Start
end-
over. Start over.
This means that an observer entering the younger end.
Continue.
Okay.
I fucking hate you. You're fishing for it, you prick. Start over. I want another shot.
okay.
God.
This means that an observer entering the younger end would exit the older end. I don't know what's so funny. I'm trying to read scientific analysis.
Yes.
This means the observer entering the younger end would exit the older end at a time when it was the same age as the younger end, effectively going back in time as seen by an observer from the outside. One significant limitation of such a time machine is that it is only possible to go as far back in time as the initial creation of the time machine, which we were talking about before. In essence, it is more of a path through time than it is a device that itself moves through time, and it would not allow the technology itself to be moved backward in time. Basically, it'd be like two highways, and we'll use the highway analogy again, and the turnaround on a throughway. Like, the turnaround only connects those two highways, the point where you start and the point where you end. Now, this isn't talking about the time analogy. This is just why you can't go by where it starts, because that turnaround doesn't extend over to the other side of that highway or the other side of that. It only connects those two sides. That's basically what that's saying.
Wait
so
a
that's
minute.
the whole
Wait a minute. So, in the original video of us talking about time travel, how come we couldn't use that logic of driving on roads, but now we can? It's not fair.
I don't even know what you're talking about, honestly. Do
He
you think I
used-
remember a conversation from a week ago?
He used the theory that of like
Oh,
old dirt
hold on.
roads.
Okay, I know what he's talking about.
But now we're using like as like we're
No,
actually
'cause-
using
No, no.
Hold on.
Yeah, I know.
Hold
what
on.
you're
Hold on.
talking
What Uncle James is saying is, if this is your
about.
road,
I don't even know this guy.
okay, this is your road. This is one way. This is the other. The red circle is the turnaround. If you start here, turn on to this one before the circle. You can't.
You can't do that.
You can't go here. You can't go here. You can't go here. You can only go here. So now go past it.
You still can't.
You
Okay,
can
I got you.
come back. You can't go past this point where the
yelling?
shut up. You can't go past this point to get over to this side. That's what Uncle James is talking about.
Gotcha.
The point I was making was the flaw in that theory is you can't travel to a time because where the creation didn't exist. They developed, the Native Americans, the original settlers of this country, when they developed a lot of the roadways, the pathways that we've turned into roadways, they developed a lot of the roadways, the pathways that we've turned into roadways, they developed a lot of the roadways, the pathways that we've turned into 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 roadways, the pathways So yeah, actually, you know what? I'm gonna go back to that. My point of that was you can't take cars on those roads because they made those paths when there weren't cars. But what did we do to those pathways? We put roads over them. So you mean to tell me, according to that theory, there's only that one spot to turn around on the thruway?
I am completely lost. What
Okay,
you're saying.
I'm gonna start over.
Oh God.
Can you make? All right, here. I know what you're trying to do. So can you make a new red spot?
Yes, because that's what we did with the roadways, so we could drive cars over the paths the Native Americans created.
Yeah,
Well, I got separate legs.
if you
Damn.
created a wormhole,
So you could go. So in theory, you should be able to go back to this point and create.
I'm back.
You should be able to advance the. How do I explain this? It's in my head. I just can't put it into words.
with a
Make it move it.
wormhole, you have the start of one wormhole, unless you start the wormhole before then. But then the same concept applies. You can't enter time further back than where the door is. Basically, like the door to start is here. You can't go further back and go through the wall
How come you can't? Make
unless
a
you
new
do
door?
an exit or something. As a firefighter, volunteer.
See, punched a hole in your own theory.
I just axed a hole in my own. Anyway,
Wrong side.
What's in?
You're doing it on the wrong hole.
Said no girl ever.
You're doing it wrong.
putting his lips all over my kazoo. God, now I gotta disinfect it.
Maddie, go ahead, curl your lip like this.
Keep doing that. Just for the rest of the show, whoever you are. Apparently, we're... Give me this.
Aw.
It's gonna take everything away from you, too. I don't even know you. Apparently, we're... you know what else the Native Americans invented?
What?
Computers. I like that segue.
See, somebody.
And
traveled-
apparently, we're in a fucking computer program right now where I'm an uncle.
Oh yeah, I love those movies, and I said this theory way back then.
Where's the black hole?
What's the thing? What's that for? Me gazer. Fuck you. Gotta put it below your waist so it doesn't count. Oh fuck.
And he looked right at it.
Look at this.
God damn it!
Anyway, that's like
So
1999.
back in Dark City, The 13th Floor, The Matrix, when all these movies were popping, I sat there one day, stone sober, and I'm like, you know, movies generally are trying to push like a message. There's a lot of simulation movies coming out.
Well, I don't know.
What if we're in a simulation?
What was the message in The Room?
The room?
No.
What was the movie about? I can't recall.
With oh no, I'm gonna forget the name of them.
The Room.
I've never even seen that. What is that?
Tommy Wiseau. That's right.
What happens in the movie? I'm drawn.
It's like the worst movie. Oh, hi, Eric. That one, he's got the long hair, the crazy messed up eye. It was a drama that he made that ended up being so bad it was hilarious.
Is this crooked? This is crooked. No, like from the very base, it's crooked. Yeah, there you go. See,
So leave it. Stop.
but it was like that. It's still crooked.
What a whiner.
Leave it alone.
Where'd you come from? What is this idiocracy future? He just comes here to the everything's crooked. My legs, I have to stand up.
My knees hurt.
He's a grown boy.
Who's your niece?
He's a grown boy. Leave him alone.
Yeah, I won't for a very long time.
So quickly read the synopsis.
Read it. I
I got it.
I own the movie. I'm not gonna get into that.
I'm gonna read it while you talk.
Oh God. What?
Go ahead. Simulation.
No, that was the whole thing. What simulation? No, that was a whole. You said movies usually have a directive or something like that.
You said movies normally have like a meaning. You said basically.
What was that?
All right,
Surprise!
Johnny
look.
is a successful who lives happily in San Francisco townhouse with his fiancee, Lisa. One day, inexplicably,
Lisa, your
she gets
time
bored of
apart.
him and decides to seduce Johnny's best friend Mark.
There's
From
all
there,
that. Oh, I'm
nothing
on.
will see him again.
There's you have to watch the movie.
There's nothing about simulation in that.
I know there's not. You just said movies usually push a narrative or an idea
why
or
did
something.
you bring that up while I brought up the 13th Floor? You remember the movie The 13th Floor? It's set in like the 80s and 90s, and this guy ends up stumbling onto the 13th floor, which is when he opens the door, he looks at like a computer digitized world. It's all digital coding and shit like that, and he's like, whoa. Maybe. And then he falls in love with this girl.
Whoa.
Comes to find out.
Bill and Ted.
Comes to find out, they're just like programs that, it's basically Tron.
Right.
Except instead of going in yourself as the program, you go in and take over a program. And that's what the 13th floor is about.
Oh, Ready Player One.
Yeah, I was just about to say.
Yeah. Except in the world of the video game, they think it's real. And comes to find out, he ends up...
Oh, so, what was it? Free Guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Except he realized it's coding and realized there's no way he can get out. In the 13th floor... In the 13th floor, the guy ends up taking over the person who uses him in the computer.
Oh.
So it's basically...
The gamer.
No.
I understand what
Oh
you're
my
saying,
God,
so.
what's the movie? Hold on. Fuck. Fuck.
Oh, there's a loading sign.
Right here.
I'm gonna punch you in the dick.
I'm going to let you go.
Oh, God.
So when you enter the younger side of the hole...
Technically, I'm coming out the older side of the hole.
That's true.
So it's not... in the future, it's not illegal to be time traveling. But in the present, you're a pedo if you time travel.
Isn't that weird?
But you have to be a pedo to become a non-pedo. What the fuck is wrong with the time travel?
Speaking of pedos and stuff like that, I seen something over on TikTok. It was someone on like who has been in jail before, like child molesters and stuff like that. They get a lot of mail apparently in jail.
Like M-A-I-L or M-A-L-E?
I'm sure they get plenty of both.
Just for clarification.
I'm hoping
Mail
they
that
get
you can
tons.
read, like
I'm
people that
hoping
write.
M-A-I-L. I'm hoping he gets preferably a lot more of the M-A-L-E version.
Why? Do you want to watch it or something? You weird time traveling?
No. I'm just saying.
Like,
if you're a pedo, you should be put in the... What are the things called? The locks? The stocks. Where they put your hands through, your head through, and they lock the wood down on you.
Oh, yeah.
You're bent over. Yeah. That's how they should serve their 20-year sentences. Shower time! Yay!
The, who's it? Was it Elon Musk, I think, said that the probability that our universe is a base universe and not a simulation is like billions to 1. Just for the fact that we're getting
a
close,
petri dish.
We're getting close. Maybe we're getting close to basically simulating realities now. I mean, I think they can do it in computer code now, but
Yeah, but now the camera can actually see me.
with video games
see- it couldn't see
and
me.
whatnot. What are you, a Madonna? with
What's that?
with
What's a Madonna?
An attention-grabbing money whore.
with video games and whatnot. With all the NPCs and everything, you basically look at Red Dead Redemption.
Don't even, Arthur, that should not have fucking happened.
Everything
that still
that,
hurts. Too soon.
Everything that happens in that
Too soon.
and works with itself or with each other
And I got the good death.
reacts to everything.
I got the good death, not the bad death. Where
How is death good?
what's his name? Lucas? No,
Micah.
Micah. Yeah, I get the death where he just takes his last breath and dies, not the one where Micah shoots him.
Either way, death is bad. I mean, it's like how
His death is still, yeah. Don't even say that didn't tug on you a little bit.
These two.
It fucking did. You did. You told me.
These two with conversation.
This
like
motherfucker.
Two deflating
This
balloons
motherfucker.
trying to keep them in a straight line.
Well, we're in the same room, aren't we?
Only protected by walls.
Can't time travel out of this room, can
I
I?
took the walls down.
That's the whatever.
I could totally time travel right now. Let me drink my fizzy drink.
I revoke my statement of better co-host.
Fuck you. He's an awesome co-host.
Aw, he's not disagreeing with you anymore. Dude, the entire thing, he was like just completely disagreeing with you.
You noticed the same fucking thing I did. Excuse me. It's funny how he notices the same shit I notice.
That's the whatever.
Except it's amplified.
I know it's
He's got years of control. You're just like,
That's the
shiny. It's like real world.
you gotta get the boy out from under the stairs every now and again so he sees colors.
Hey, we got to go here,
I
Charlie.
mean, I don't know who you are.
Hold on, shiny. Elden Ring all over.
I'll just give him a quarter or something for the show.
Do you have one?
Shut up. So,
And also, going back to...
well, hold on. Really quick. Dark City. That was another movie.
All right.
That was, although that one was more like Prometheus, where aliens were controlling something. They were controlling us. In the movie Dark City...
Isn't that basically what Matrix was? Like some technology, alien technology?
was farming us.
Right.
Well, no. In Dark City, they weren't. It was more like experimental. They would flip a switch, everybody would go out cold, and in one scene, it shows a guy, middle-aged, balding, in a muscle shirt with a wife. I think she has a black eye. Dead serious. I think she has a black eye. They're eating table in a scrubby-ass little apartment.
Sandwich, right?
Right.
You don't cook the sandwich unless it's a grilled cheese. Shut up.
Apparently, she didn't make the sandwich.
At least get the joke right.
Stop. Don't. You can't do what I do because I'll get in trouble for you.
What?
Just don't.
Keep going.
So in Dark City, so these guys are sitting at this table, and then all of a sudden, flick of the switch. They go, well, they come in and they almost like warp the room into a mansion, put him into some super duper like Richie clothes, clean her up.
Yeah, all right. I know them.
And then all of a sudden they come to and it's, yes, and back at the bank, and they're talking all rich and fancy now.
Right.
In that movie, it was more like a controlled experiment.
Right.
In 13th Floor, it was a computer-controlled simulation. In The Matrix, it was a farming simulation. Basically, they just harvested us for fucking... They farmed us for electricity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but wouldn't the electricity take to keep us alive would
No, actually, I understand what you're saying because when The Matrix came out, the world went crazy with, oh, that's not possible. It would cost more and take more energy just to keep us going.
Yeah.
No.
Why? Where are they getting that extra energy from?
Well, considering you can make a battery out of a potato and some copper wiring, and
The Baghdad battery. All they do is put a piece of, I think it's copper, with a wire wrap around it in a pottery jar with, I forgot, some kind of citric acid, some kind of fruit juice, and then put like a wooden topper, run the cord through it. You can actually draw electricity from that.
Yes, but that electricity runs out. So what's keeping that electricity there?
harvesting more people.
Yeah, because all they do as soon as the person dies, they put in a new person, baby.
Next.
True.
Yeah, it's called farming.
And people are being born faster than people are dying. So, yeah.
Thank God.
Same idea as like any
reproduction.
farm with corn and
Yeah.
everything. You can't draw corn from the same crop forever.
No.
No, you got to rotate your fields.
Yeah. So, going back to what Elon said, is like 1 in billions. There's also the idea of like, what are the chances of us on this planet being in what the Goldilocks zone? Like, it's perfect. It's far enough away from the sun to be heated, but not boil the oceans away, but not too far as where everything just freezes over. And just, for life.
Oh, absolutely.
Basically, like, the chances of that happening are
1 in a billion. Trillion.
Yeah, quadrillions, if not more.
I've always said there's no way with our universe the way it is, and then knowing somewhat what's outside of our universe, because we're in a galaxy,
Right.
in a cluster of galaxies,
Right.
in a universe full of clusters of galaxies.
Right.
There's no way.
Surrounded by thousands of other universes.
Millions, billions.
Millions, infinite.
I was gonna say there's
That's
no.
just observable universe,
I just know what that is.
93.64.
You can have the
whatever it
rest.
is.
Thank you. I'm so thirsty.
Yeah, use coaster.
Of course.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, there's the known universe. What's in it? I gotta disagree with Elon. Quadrillions? No. Centillions, whatever the highest number you can think of.
Whatever it is.
It's one in a centillion.
Whatever that.
Yeah. A Google. One in a
Googleplex.
Google.
A Googleplex.
Googleplex. There you go.
Yeah.
One in a Googleplex.
And just for anyone who doesn't know, everyone who's
it's like one with like 60 zeros after it. Or 600 zeros.
try a little more, buddy.
Like a million zeros after.
Try a little more, buddy.
Hold on.
Billion.
There is not enough space in the known universe to fill the number of zeros that are a Googleplex. A Google, yes. A Googleplex, no, because it's 100 to the 10th to the 10th, or 100
No.
to the 10th, or 10 to the hundreds.
And there's like
The zeros would not fit in the universe.
100 zeros.
A Googleplex?
search Googleplex. You search Googleplex or Google.
Are there 1,000 zeros in a Googleplex? As massive as a Googleplex is many, many times larger. Oh, okay. Such that it's impossible to write all the zeros out. There'd be 10 trillion of them.
Yeah.
10 trillions.
Well, at least they invented a number of what it would
Counting
be.
to a Googleplex would be even more impossible.
I'd like to see someone count to a Google.
I know.
How many? Okay, yeah. Oh, there's 100
And,
zeros.
and there's more numbers higher than a Googleplex.
Well, I mean,
Googleplex-
numbers are infinite, so, you know, you can't...
You can't name.
Yeah, they do have numbers that are higher than a Googleplex, yes, but...
In a Google, there's 100 zeros in a Google.
Yeah.
I wish I had that much money.
Who doesn't?
You just gotta find... Well, if we're in a simulation, you just gotta find a hacker. And then kill them in their plane.
Come on, you
He's
fucker.
got right in the air.
Oh, yeah. The whole life hack, remember? Write the symbols or something like that.
Right in the air.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's a Game Genie.
Fuck you, double game genie.
Which is interesting.
Breaking games.
It's interesting, the whole thing, but... And then there's the whole Fermi paradox.
The what?
The Fermi paradox.
What's that?
I'm curious.
All right,
thought I said
the
furry paradox.
Fermi.
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 Okay, Fermi.
If we, in this universe, or in this galaxy, in this universe, are as intelligent as we are, why haven't we seen or had any other signs of another intelligent life
We
form?
have
We have them.
Oh, yeah? Where?
ancient aliens.
It's such a stupid show.
Shut up.
Oh.
It's a good show, though.
No, but I agree. How can we be the most advanced life form on this planet and not have seen anything else?
Not
We are
being
not
like,
normal. Yeah, it's
like
such
as a
a-
human, you know, not
this
being...
Only co-host is good. Only host and co-host to get to have that. I don't know what I just said. Don't ask me, please.
Don't ask him. Continue.
Not
Only you two can have those. There.
not being conceited or anything of that, but thinking that we are the most intelligent life form in the known universe.
Is a human construct too.
It's just not a human construct. It's just the idea of that. It's like, that just seems so illogical. It just doesn't seem right, because we've only been around for what, 250,000 years, humans. It just doesn't seem right. Human beings, not Neanderthal or anything like that. Human beings. I think it's been like 250 or 230,000 years, something like that.
And, like, and also,
Maybe
if
260.
we weren't,
Oh.
if we were
All right, hold
most
on.
advanced, then we would have
Yeah.
figured out.
Holy shit.
Then we would have figured out that
Around
there
300,000
was,
years ago.
Yeah. I mean, the universe is, the known universe is 96 billion years old, or 4, or whatever the hell.
Yeah.
They had all that time before our existence. We're as intelligent, air quotes, as we are right now, and there's nothing else out there, at least that we've seen. Or, like we said in past shows before, it's like, what if we're just like that shitty zoo off to the side? Be like, oh, look, they have sad parakeets. Let's stop. Like, no one's going to want to fucking go to that. Look, they got a squirrel with 3 legs and a dead parakeet. Let's go to that fucking zoo. It sounds fantastic. No, you're going to want to go to the one that has, like Six Flags fucking New England, or or what other animal slave place they have?
It's like going to the it's like going to your local town's fun fair and then going to Six Flags. We're the local town fun fair with the carnies missing teeth, pants hanging half down past their ass crack.
Well, at least that's entertaining to look at. We're probably not even that. Look at these fucking monkeys as they go by.
Racist.
Marius!
A monkey's a race?
No.
Don't go there. Just don't go there.
You've went there
No!
many of times.
No!
You know what's also interesting?
No!
Well, I'm going to tell you. We're talking about we're saying your thought process of, us being the only thing here. It's got to be, some other thing outside of the program controlling us or whatever, right?
In any way, shape, or form. Yes.
Right.
There's got to, maybe not controlling us, maybe not even observing us, but there's probably something out there that's more advanced than us.
Like, we don't even know.
We're
Like,
going to simulate. I'm talking about simulation, not
okay.
Fermi paradox.
Sorry,
I'm just
okay.
talking simulation now.
We could be
Like us-
literally a grade C science fair project that an alien won.
Yeah.
That
Men in
it-
Black.
that-
Men in
that
Black,
alien-
remember?
Yeah.
The marbles.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
Or,
It could be, it's like-
Rick and Morty.
yeah.
The galaxy on the girl's tassels, the alien's tassels on her boobs.
It's thought provoking, right?
It is.
Here's the kicker. And this, like, thinking of that, I was like, wow, that's a fucking major point when I heard this. Most people that believe in simulation theory are atheists. They believe in the exact same thing as hardcore religious people. They just call it different things.
Oh, yeah.
But it's parallel, exactly. But then people that are atheists look at the religious people like, that's fucking stupid. We're probably a science experiment. But then you look at both, you're like, you're arguing the same thing. This isn't even apples and oranges. This is like Granny Smith versus Macintosh. Like,
I'm not an atheist, but like I do believe in like there is like some sort of higher power.
an intelligent design, I guess that's
Yeah.
the best way to put it.
Yeah, I could support that.
Maybe, though, maybe we are, by chance, in the Goldilocks zone. And we are, by chance, the most intelligent life form in the known universe. Maybe that's all true. This is where it goes back to Elon Musk saying the chance of us being the base model in simulation, like we are the base and everything after us is simulation, something that we have created. So maybe we are the base model, one in billions or trillions, quadrillions, or Google or Googleplex. Maybe that's true. But the chances, again,
are so small.
and
I mean, big.
and going further, how would you know?
Exactly.
I don't see how you would at all know.
And also, if we're not the most intelligent, and there is like aliens that are more complex than us, and are more smarter and more greater civilization than us, will we ever know that they exist? Even if they unless they want to show themselves to us, will we ever know that they exist? Because they will also be advancing as we are advancing.
I think that's just it right there, is whether or not they want us to know.
Exactly.
If that be the case.
Yeah. So if there is like a greater civilization, then why would they want us to know? Because we would want war.
I think really the only way you could solve it is once we invent quantum computing.
Yeah.
There's actually a story I have read before about simulation theory. It was written around the idea of simulation theory, about how we invented this quantum computer that could actually simulate realities, and once you plugged into it, you could relive any a memory or anything, like past family members, anything. It would make it so it was real and you couldn't distinguish the difference between it. But then as they went through the story, they thought, well, if this machine is so real, well, it got to the point where the machine could actually grow and harvest tissue, and which we're kind of in right now anyway, but repair missing arms and legs from war vets, and then it could bring flesh back to life and actually create life and bring people back from the dead. And then they got to the point where the computer was so powerful, then they thought, this is a great thing, like a great invention. And then this group of scientists started thinking, but how do we know because we've created this that could simulate anything, how do we know that we aren't a simulation of something else? So then they use the machine to try to send a signal outside of their reality without breaking certain rules within their known laws of physics. And at the end of it, and it goes back, spoiler alert, but at the end of it, the machine suddenly shuts down as they're doing it, and they get a loading sign on it, and the size of the file that was loaded was like way beyond what they thought like they could ever handle. And then
this?
I don't know.
it was a creepypasta actually. I'll send it to you.
Please.
I might have actually sent it to you before, but
Send it to me again.
they unplugged the machine because they didn't know what they were going to get, and it still kept loading without power. And they opened the file, and it ended up being the whole thing was just a black screen with white text that said "turn back," and that was it. But like the story, it's like a half-hour story, but the story just sucked me right in. I was like, this fucking whoever wrote it was like, this is fantastic.
Oh,
I don't know how that conversation reminded me of this, but do you believe in reincarnation?
You know, I don't know.
Okay, so let's say that it exists for a moment, just for this quick little conversation. Let's say that 100%
that would go. There's a
exists.
conspiracy theory that's going on the conspiracy theory iceberg. This is like a tier 7, 8, 9, or 10. One of those like really, really deep ones, like where there's only a certain amount of souls in the world. Basically, they're picking a soul off a tree like apples off a tree, and you can't have more than X amount of souls. This is where the whole NPC conspiracy theory comes in too, where there's only so many people, kind of like bots on Twitter, but there's only so many people that actually have a function. You ever out and about, fucking any store you go to, and you just look around and be like, there's no fucking way that's an actual person living. It just, there's something about them.
Karens and
not even
Kevins.
Karens.
Karens and Chads are NPCs.
No, because they're just
I
assholes.
really want to explain my theory of what I've heard.
Anyway,
So basically, we say reincarnation is 100% real. So, what if we're all one spirit, but reincarnated over and over and over again? Because who?
Well, now you're
who's
talking
to
about
say that we
the-
can't be reincarnated as someone else in the past. Who say that we can't be reincarnated as someone else in the past or in
So
the
what you're
future?
talking about is
We're all
when
one
you
soul.
die, you're born. You could be born in a timeline, same person but in a different time.
Yes, basically. So like, you could be me and I could be you, but we wouldn't know it.
So
That's how, like,
here's my
how-
thing, and you let me ask you something.
If I
dude.
can find the video
ahead.
again, I'll show
Let's
it.
see.
I'll send it to you.
Let's
guys.
see if you
Probably
can
won't be
punch a
able to find
hole in this theory. What is the rule of matter? You can neither what?
matter?
Yeah,
it. Create it or destroy it.
No, that's energy.
Oh yeah.
energy, matter, same thing basically.
No.
Well, okay, energy.
Okay.
Humans are made of matter, which is
Carbon-based life form.
hold on, because now I gotta check. I always thought it was matter. You cannot create nor destroy matter.
I think that's literally what happens in a black hole. And a black hole gets so big, it actually collapses it on itself. That's a theory, too, of
Yeah. How does it
the
do
big
that?
rip, like how the universe, that well, a lot of people theorize what's going to happen. The universe will actually rip itself apart. And then once it rips itself apart, it'll actually condense back on itself, kind of like a supernova and a star. And once that happens, the big bang is that collapse back in on itself. And then it
Okay.
restarts
That's where the
itself.
theory
So,
of
hold on.
history repeating itself comes in.
Okay, matter you can neither create nor destroy matter.
You still
Ma-
have that piece of glitter in your
All
eye.
right, whatever. Matter can change form through physical and chemical changes, but through any of these changes, matter is conserved. The same amount of matter exists before and after the change. None is created or destroyed.
I mean, like water.
This concept is called the
Or
law
burning
of
something.
This concept is called the law of conservation of mass.
Okay.
So, with that law, energy is created through matter, whatever, however you want to say it, whatever you want to look at it as. We are made up of matter.
Mhm.
When we die, what happens? That matter doesn't go anywhere.
No.
It gets transformed into something else.
Right.
What's to say reincarnation, whether it's conscious or unconscious, that proves reincarnation is real. Because when you die, when your matter breaks down, it can become something else.
If you, all right, so
To a certain
if
point,
you're,
you can become a tree.
if you want to
can become a con.
yeah, if you boil it all
Hopefully, I'm
down,
bought by a heterosexual couple.
if you, why, you got something wrong?
Yeah, would they really, if anything outside of a heterosexual relationship, would they really need a condom?
Yes, it's for Mars. You have to understand.
Why?
Monkeypox,
I can't
AIDS.
believe I'm going to have this conversation with you on
yeah.
YouTube. But prophylactics, condoms,
Okay.
are
You couldn't
used
just say
for
condoms. Just say condoms.
are used for more than just contraceptive prevention. They are also used for
Protection of STD, AIDS, herpes.
sexually transmitted diseases, venereal diseases. There's a lot of stuff that using the proper protection will
Just
protect you
STD
from.
in general, because STD just
Well,
stands for
actually,
sex transmitted.
No, but that's it. Though.
disease.
A venereal disease and sexually transmitted disease are, although similar, they're not the same.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to clip that. Monkeypox.
So yeah, you wear them regardless. But no, what I'm saying is like, but that's just it. Now, have you heard that theory about the drinking water or something like that with Julius Caesar? Like at some point or another, you've drinking water that
Or breathe the air.
yeah,
Yeah.
that contained what?
And dinosaur poop.
It was like 0.001
Of Julius Caesar or something like that?
Yeah, the same air he breathed.
Yes.
Right.
So right there, what's to say that's not going to influence genetics or
You're talking about like reincarnation. You're talking about breaking down. I mean, by technicality, yeah, but I think what he's talking about reincarnation is actual like spiritual or some other form where you come back and you remember or you like live part of what that is. That's I think a lot of what people. What a lot of people think.
Did you say hey or gay?
What a lot of
Can't
people.
say gay on the stream.
What a lot of people.
Can we?
Can I get this idea out? Shut up, Putin.
I'm not Putin though. I'm little Guido.
You don't even know what you are.
I'm little giddy.
And that's what you are now, little Geedy.
I want to be little guinea.
No.
Oh.
All right, giddy.
Anyway, going way back, reincarnation is like
ahead.
that's something completely different. That's another show.
That's a fun one.
What did I say? Oh yeah, I already mentioned the repeating universe theory, the whole like expand, crunch, and then last Thursdayism.
Wait, what? You last Thursdayism?
Oh,
Yeah.
so the concept of almost every story starts out with like, oh, it was last Thursday or it was a Thursday in the past, something like that, right?
No, it's not even that. There's no way to disprove it.
What do you mean?
Last
No.
Thursdayism. There's no way to disprove that everything that you know was created last Thursday. And everything before that is a memory that was implanted through a program. You cannot disprove it. How do you know that you were not just created and everything that has happened before that moment that I mentioned it, past that, is not implanted and you are only, 10, 15 seconds old now?
Wow. You got big fast. Get a job.
You're not even real.
Hey, I'm like
We're not supposed to be here.
I'm like 20 seconds old now, all right? I'm your elder.
That's right, at least in his mind. The program states. Going with simulation theory, this is just fun. I think I've told you this before. Maybe I haven't. There was
That's the point.
one time back when I was working at the warehouse, and it wasn't just me who saw.
Oh, the nail?
Yeah, and it's still to this day. I'm like, I was working, and I probably said it before on the show, but I remember working, and there was a piece of pallet on it was clearly a piece of pallet. It's Chet pallet. It was blue on the side, and I kicked it. And when I kicked it, one of my buddies, my old Java standing there, Trevor. I kick it, and it sounds like a nail running across the floor. It was ding, 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 ding. And I stopped and looked at it. And I look at Trevor. He goes, I heard it too. I go, okay, it wasn't just me then. I know what I heard.
Glitch in the Matrix.
It was a fucking glitch in the program. And it was probably done by Sony. Fuck you, Sony.
It's always this.
Fucking internet.
Now, he blames the equipment. I blame the game. Fuck.